All right, I'd like to call to order the December 11th Towns and Conservation Commission meeting at 7:01 p.m. May I have a roll call, please?
James DeRoyan, Pleasant.
Michael Platt, present. James Gates.
Kevin Smith.
Pat Gemma. Here.
Kevin, do you mind leading us?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Just think, Michael be happy that I saved you all that money.
Yeah, are you supposed to sign this?
No,
Thank you.
I don't sign it until my lawyer reviews anything. I don't sign anything.
Cell phones are silenced.
Is there a new rule about that?
No, but mine wasn't.
And we're gonna leave my telephone.
Meeting is being recorded. Is anyone else recording?
Those your neighbors from Biddle Pond?
Yeah,
They are?
yeah, we used to live,
Finns?
oh yeah, well, one's a Finn, he's a Finn, she's not.
Okay. Good evening, Bob. He's still a Hoover Boyka. Okay.
Bob was actually a member of the zoning, new member of the zoning board.
We're moving a little
CD?
slow tonight because we're early.
Welcome to the Conservation Commission.
No, he's a member.
Chairs
of zoning.
additions and or deletions.
I just said
Bob, oh, Bob was a member of it.
So 3.1, we
You're
are
not doing
going
that
to,
anymore, are you?
I'm sorry.
chairman's additions and or deletions, 3.1, the volunteer request form. Bill Rido cannot attend our meeting tonight, so we are going to move that to January 8th. He's on the historic commission. What's he on right now? Historic Commission or Society? He is one of the people that spearheaded the rail trail. So he has been in front of us many times.
And he would have been here for the rail trail?
Nope, he would have been here because he wants to join the commission.
Oh, cool.
January 8th
Yeah.
meeting.
Yes.
That'll be the next, when he'll be in?
Yes.
Mr.
That's
Rido.
our next meeting.
And he's been in town quite a while.
Bill's been in
He
town a
raised
long
his
time.
$3 here.
Bill's, can't call him a downy, but he's been here a long time. A heck of a nice feller. He spearheaded the rail trail.
We can-
He
I
does a
can-
lot with the historical commission.
I met
So-
him down when we did that site.
So
walk.
briefly, he's
Nice feller.
he's a software engineer, background experience, master's in physics. But he has worked for well over 20 years with permitting and the creation of the Squanicook River Rail Trail. Yeah, no, you have.
And that, he was with Pat and everybody at that meeting for the bridge.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I am reasonably acclimated with him. Nice guy.
Yes.
Yeah, nice feller.
Oh, he's a harbor man.
Yeah.
Just good.
Harbor
Just good.
guy.
Will that fill us?
Nope. There's one more after that.
We're getting there though.
Better
We
than,
need a girl though. I
Yes.
want a woman on here.
we don't want competition with you.
We
We're just fine with you.
Need
Don't
another
get all,
girl.
you know.
We're sorry, Pat, don't take it personal.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah.
You know what it is, and I'll say this probably till the day I die, is, you know, only wish there was more people in our community that would wanna give freely of their time.
In other words, we should.
Bill is
Yeah, and Bill, he's gotta be spread pretty
poster
thin.
child,
Yeah, he's
But
gotta
he's
be
trying to-
spread pretty thin.
you know.
You know, there's few people that,
Look
there's
at Laurie
there's fewer of
Schifrin.
us as, yeah, right, there's a perfect example. There's fewer of us as we get older that, you know, could take a couple hours, you know, 3 hours twice a month. You know, it's sad, it's a very sad thing. I've served on many committees
Yeah,
for years, some of them since the inception of the committees. And, it's tough.
no, I agree. I gotta,
I'm in the middle of baling hay and then I stop and go down here or something, you know, do all something, you know,
I gotta do that.
You got the,
oh yeah, we know how it goes.
just trying to, so. We go run through correspondence, so 4.11 Depot Street
Thank you.
Extension, ZBA notice of a ditch, decision, the ZBA has granted permit to Kevin Smith,
how are you? Good.
for construction of a age-restricted residential development of a pre-existing non-conforming property, located at 1 Depot Street Extension.
That, where is that?
No, I can start back over the table.
I have to,
Oh, I didn't know they sign in, even if,
you have to, so, and then, 4.2, 249 Main Street, planning board notice of this decision, the planning board granted a special permit, to Ami Shah, to revert a commercial property into 2 separate commercial units and operate a UPS store, which will be welcome.
Yes, indeed.
anything from my UPS brothers.
Helps with your.
I guess there was a little bit of trouble with it because of parking, he had said, when he originally had spoken to me about it, but I said, but they seem to have worked it out with the BI.
I kind of came in with them and.
Yeah.
That's a great thing to have. in town.
It is.
Nothing close.
It is, what's worse than having something you gotta RTS or get back? I don't wanna go to Leominster, I don't wanna go to Staples, it's nice to have one close, and
Don't
we
they
all,
have for that, the building where they sell the shoes? Don't they?
Evans,
Yeah.
I think they might be like a,
No,
for ARS, but
It's a
they'll be
drop
able to label it, insure
Yeah.
it, do the whole
Yeah, well,
process.
I mean, they do it there too, 'cause I've brought
But you gotta have it
things
all filled
before.
I
out.
don't think they do that in Evans.
No, I don't.
Yeah,
No.
they used to, because
used to.
I used to bring my stuff there.
This is a picture of my farm right here, see, huh?
18 Main Street, notice it.
18 Main Street, planning board notice of decision, this is for the Starbucks going into the
Santander.
old
Santander
thing,
Bank.
it has been, planning board has issued a permit for that.
State of mind.
Main Street planning board notice of decision. This is,
So the vet's office.
yes, next to McDonald's.
Next to Mick, yeah.
Modification to a special permits, site plan, and has been granted.
Are they a completion?
They modified the special site plan,
Okay,
or the special permit site plan, I don't know anything about it. So. So you could figure for the parking lot out back, because I think they had it wrapped around before, now they don't.
Yeah, it's coming up to supper now.
yeah.
Gary John, that's Gary John, isn't it?
I don't know. I tried it. Yeah, 4.5 MACC dues, 25. Our dues amounts for fiscal year 26 will be $320. Katie said that was less than last year. So Mike, this is something that once we get an agent or a land use coordinator that we can get you on, or maybe Sabrina can in that all her free time.
On the webinar.
MACC offers classes, Mike, that the town pays for wetlands and everything associated with being a conservation commissioner. So
I think Jessica told me about them, and I think she registered me. I'm pretty sure.
Maybe you're the guy.
I hope. Have you received an email from them yet?
Not sure.
You're welcome to reach out to them.
Okay.
Mrs. Gerard still,
I have no idea.
I think Mrs. Gerard is most likely your contact.
Okay, so
Well, I'll check. I
Yep.
made some notes.
And like I had said, it's kind of nice to go to the meetings. You meet a lot of people.
Yeah.
So the MACC dues aren't due until next fiscal year, which is July 1st, 2025. So at a later date, we will vote on it.
So that's up to 300 and what?
20 is actually lower than last year. I think 350.
50 was last year. I was gonna say that's a good thing
Yes.
for us.
Trump's in office, prices going down.
Kevin's opinions do not.
No,
Yeah, I was gonna say,
my opinion does not matter.
I was just gonna say,
So
we'll
here's
have to
the,
make
here's,
a
the, here's the next one I
statement.
want to just throw onto us.
Let's get through this.
4.6 Mass DEP SDA intervention withdrawal for 76 Barker Hill Road.
So in other words, when you say it's withdrawal,
I will read you the letter, or I'll summarize it. Mass DEP has completed review of our appeal to the RDA, or the DOA, determination of applicability, issued to the applicant by Townsend Concom on October 24th, 2024. Mass DEP intervened in the commission's decision on November 4th, 2024. The appeal and the intervention was made in accordance with Mass WPA, Mass General Law, Chapter 131, subsection 40, and its regulations, 310 CMR 10.00. The commission issued a positive DOA overturning the perennial stream classification for an unnamed stream located partially on 76 Parker Hill Road in Townsend. Mass DEP intervened in this case because the documentation submitted to the commission during the RDA review was inadequate to overturn the perennial status per 310 CMR 10.5821D. On November 13th, Mass DEP conducted a site visit at the property with you, your wetlands consultant, and members of the commission. That was there. Jimmy was there tonight, and I were there. At the site visit, you informed Mass DEP that you would provide additional documentation of dry stream conditions during a non-drought period. You also stated that the primary purpose of overturning the perennial stream classification is to facilitate the construction of a garage within the existing lawn and landscape areas of the property, approximately 150 feet from the bank of the stream. Mass DEP observed a tarp-covered storage shed within an undeveloped portion of the 100-foot buffer zone in the southern part of the property. You informed Mass DEP that wetland permitting was not sought nor received for the installation of this shed, and DOA does not propose the back permitting of the shed. Subsequently, you confirm that the shed will be removed during construction of the garage. On November 14th and November 15th, you provided Mass DEP with additional materials documenting no flow conditions within the stream of the property. The photographs demonstrated 4 days of no flow conditions during June and July of 2024 non-drought period. Based on an evaluation of the new information, Mass DEP has determined that the requirements of 310 CMR 10.5821D to overturn the perennial status of the stream have been met. Therefore, Mass DEP rescinds our intervention and reverts issuing authority back to the commission. Mass DEP thanks you and the commission for your cooperation in this matter. Sincerely, Judy Schmitz.
That was Jody that day, right?
Nope, that was,
Rebecca.
yes.
Okay. He's a wait.
So, as far as the commission goes, that, you know, our decision was based on the facts, in which were those pictures provided to us were for those dates, but the dates were not on the actual photo, and that had to be included.
That was
Yeah.
discussed.
And he provided that.
And he. So that's a good thing. Nice job. You like that one, so.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it.
No, that's all of us, and Mike, you stayed a little bit longer after Jimmy and I had left, right? I know Mike did, but, you know, I hope that things were learned.
That's what
Yeah.
Rebecca with the DEP
Yeah.
and the stuff on back.
Yeah, I didn't stay much longer because it wasn't even really discussed.
Well, we left you in charge. You were the lead person after me and Jimmy leave.
Yeah, okay.
So,
You're not ready for that yet. I think you're right. I think I do agree.
so, again, that is, in my opinion, that's a good thing for us.
It's fair. Logical and fair, yeah.
Was the right thing to do.
So, and they were prompt. The owner had,
She did get out there relatively quickly,
yes.
which is nice.
So, we're gonna move on to 2.1, it is 718.
I know these people.
Can't really pull them off any longer, Mike.
Okay,
And he's gonna have to
Um,
recuse himself, correct?
Yes. Yes, he
Yes.
will. He can speak for himself, though.
So,
So represent himself.
all right, so,
Not during.
hold on, okay.
Guys, I'm actually here right now to help Mike out. The other meeting hasn't gotten to me yet.
Hold on.
Okay, that's good. And like,
This is your LE, land engineer?
Yeah, but hold on, I gotta try to figure out how to see who else is here.
Public?
No. Cause usually you can have like a window. Oh, here it is.
Do. Hey, do you have one of those yet, Kevin?
Okay. So now 718, 2.1, notice of intent, 22 Sonnerborough Road, TWB 2024-197, DEP 308, and that's it. We do not have a complete number. Applicant is Jane Potsed and Mike Potsed. Project status is raised and rebuild a single family home within 100-foot buffer of bank of Vinton Pond.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Matt Morrow, represent, I'm sorry.
Open the hearing, so.
I'm sorry.
I'd like to
Bear
make,
with us.
I'd like to make a motion to open the hearing for this. Do I have a second?
Second.
Jimmy got it. Roll call vote, please. Mike is abstaining.
James Dorian, present.
Yes, no?
Yes.
James Gates, yes.
Kevin Smith, yes.
Pat Chipperman, yes.
Pursuant to the Mass WPA and Townsend Wetland bylaws, the Townsend Concom will hold a public hearing on Wednesday, December 11th, 2024 at approximately 7:15 p.m. The hearing will be held virtually via Zoom and in person at Town Hall on a notice of intent filed with the Conservation Commission by Jane Potsed. The property is located at 22 Sonnerborough Road, parcel ID 2-15-0. The proposed project is to raise and rebuild a single-family home within 100-foot buffer of bank of Vinton Pond. Parties wishing to speak in support of or in opposition to this application may do so at the meeting or in writing prior to the meeting. Copies of the application are available for review at Town Hall during business hours.
Now, who's that from Shirley Road?
Yeah. Matt, are these white sheets, the certificate of mailing, that's in lieu of the little green cards?
That's correct. The regulations allow for certificate of mailing. As you guys know, I did get an email from one abutter asking me for a copy of the plans. So, because I usually offer them, a free PDF copy of whatever they want. And I did get one taker. And I did send the email over to the selectman's office so that they would have a record of that. So
the abutter did get a PDF
yes, send it Monday.
Monday.
All right,
Petition, that we, vote to deny the grant of a waiver for the
are you
delineation.
Matt?
Yes.
No,
Okay, no, I hear someone talking, so I'm just trying to,
sounds like it's down there with Hartley.
It was a woman talking.
I'm just making sure.
Grandson? No, he's out of the picture.
Oh, yeah, that's him.
Nice. How old?
4.
He's 22. And he's an electrician. He helps me for nothing. That's awesome.
He entertains us.
That's his job.
Matt, on the,
What's Matt's last name?
on the abutters list, there are some that aren't on the certificate of mailing.
Well, I mean, as far as I know, everybody was notified. We're going to have to continue as it is because we have no DEP number.
Right.
So I can re-notify for the January 8th meeting if that's okay.
Oh, wait, no, there's some duplicates on here. Or
Yes.
Because of what it is.
You don't have any green cards? You want?
No, this is what you can do this now.
Okay, so it comes right from the post?
Yeah, so 31 Sauna Road.
That's us.
Yeah, 31 or
We're 31.
He's 31.
We own 22, but
which?
we live in 31.
Oh, yeah, so, yeah, there's 2. Okay. Sorry, can you throw trust in there, or this in there,
Oh,
That-
trust, oh, yeah.
the states, you're just protecting yourself, I understand, so okay, Matt, you're good with the certified mailings. They all make sense.
So essentially what we have here is the existing house, the staircase, everything in the existing footprint on 22 Sauna Road is proposed to be raised and rebuilt in place with the exception of the deck. The deck is going to be left alone. The floorboards will be disconnected from the foundation, and then reconnected, after, the new foundation is put in. Nothing is going to change from the existing footprint. Erosion protection is shown on the plans. There's going to be no filling, no change in elevation, nothing. Everything's just basically a new house is going to pop in where the old one was. That's it.
Well,
And I'm just waiting to hear if DEP has any comments they want addressed.
Well, there's a slight modification that my son has made in the plans. And because back in the day when they first put in the place, they weren't as concerned with boundaries. So in fact, the one person who expressed interest in getting a copy of it, I talked to Matt about the deck. In fact, the deck, the few inches of the deck down by the water is on the neighboring property, okay? And on the street, next to the street, that little bump out, which includes the bathroom on the inside, 2 or 3 inches of that is across the boundary. So,
That was a bump out, that was a foundation though, as I looked at it, am I correct?
right.
Okay, the foundation itself is within the property.
Oh, yeah, the original foundation, but that was added later, back in the 60s, when the Wilsons bought it, they put the bathroom on.
Yeah, so you don't wanna do that. You're better off to leave it, the bump out of it. I think we discussed that when we were there.
Well, we talked about moving it in,
Moving
moving it in enough so that there's no
So
question that it's
clear,
near
so
the
it's-
boundary.
So it's not gonna impede the
Right.
butter.
Right,
You want clean paper. You don't want that little bit on
That's
somebody
right.
else's. That could turn around and bite you.
He showed me that on the site.
I remember
Yeah.
that.
and in terms of the deck, we'll make sure that it's well away from the boundary. That's an easy one to solve.
To the front on the water area.
That could be resolved by simply cutting it back a little far.
That's right, eventually it's gonna be replaced.
Okay.
And when it's replaced, it'll be away from the boundary.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cause like Kevin said, that's a slippery slope.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, no,
We talked about that on site. And
So is that the most recent plan in front of you?
what do you,
This one's from,
you can see that this edge right there is on boundary, across the boundary.
28.
And
That's your cousins?
that's Jane's cousin Larry's, yeah,
So, and that's where you're gonna,
Okay.
move it in enough so that it's away from the boundary.
off of the other people's boundaries. Okay.
Oh, we completely jumped ahead on the agenda.
What do you mean?
Just keep going, like, and Jim and Matt.
And the other change is that to minimize the possibility that somehow we compromise the road, it would be pulled back about 1.5 feet from the front front boundary.
Front corner of the
Covered
existing home.
Yeah.
He was sliding it back away from the road a foot.
Away from the 1.5 feet. And then to compensate for that, our son, who's made up these detailed plans, has a cantilever that's gonna make up the square footage difference, but the footprint will be the
Still,
same,
yeah.
with the cantilever.
Yes, okay.
Okay. Understood.
Matt, you there? Do you have?
Very thin.
The tight spot, they're working within what they got. You were up there at 1.4.
3 times, yeah, forever. Yeah.
We've both been going by there for 100 years.
Right.
I think what he's doing is definitely an improvement to the site.
Well, originally, when we bought it, we were going to just remodel it. And then I even have a stack of 2x4s that I ripped that I was going to add to the 2x4 construction when they remodeled. Tom Wilson, before he sold it, the third of the structure that was closest to the pond was a big screen house. It was just a screen house. And then they made that into a permanent construction.
It was.
And it must have added enough weight on that corner
She had the
so
foundation on.
that you can actually, on the inside, you can see a crack in the foundation. That's definitely, it's lifting. And there are some other issues. The block
Starting to
cellar
decay.
has cracks in it. I guarantee tomorrow after this rain, there's gonna be water pooling on the inside corners. So we, quickly decided that wasn't a real option.
Well, I think that was a good move. It's not changing any of this. I think it's, he's just kicking it back. And,
And that's gonna, the timber landing at the bottom will change. This,
Yep.
that'll go away.
This is actually a cantilever right here.
Yeah, so it'll be a foot and a half in from the road.
From the road. Yep.
If it's over the wall right here, if it's over the line right here, it's over the line, and half an inch is like an inch. But this cantilever's out.
Yeah, that will just be cut out.
Kick this back. Move this back slightly. Off the existing.
And why is it that we were moving it down away from the road?
No, it's so close to the road. There's an eye corner pin.
Okay,
It's got a rebar block corner pin between him and the neighbor to the west.
Pat,
And I
did you
believe
get
that
a
might
chance
be
to do a
Bob,
site
I'm not
visit?
sure.
Oh, yeah,
yeah, she
What
was
are your
in.
thoughts?
everything, what they're talking about, it looks good. I mean, you know, I know about the trees being removed and where they're talking about, as far as the front with the deck and everything, so,
That little bottom clip
yeah,
is over,
Yeah.
which is gonna be when it's replaced.
Oh, yeah.
So we established that. I don't know how Jim's gonna wanna decide upon it. And this little corner here, which is that concrete that's on Cousins.
Right.
Is this a pump septic system?
Yes. Yes. And it was a new system across the
No,
street,
so
which
my-
you realize over.
I know it's
All
across the
green.
street, so the reason I asked that is, what are the measures going to be taken to prevent anything from going backwards? I know there's check valves in the system and everything, but always looking at,
That would be
you
his.
know,
that
what's
would-
the worst case?
The tanks are across the road.
Right.
I mean, literally across the side of the road.
Is it gravity fed to that?
It's
Pump up.
it's gravity across the road.
Right.
To a septic tank, I believe,
Yep.
and then it's pumped up.
So do we have a holding tank
Nothing on that side
within,
of the
so all
road.
all the toilets
I think
and
everything is on the other side of the road. It's got sewer pipe coming out of the top of the house at the
all of the
road.
pumping systems are
On the
within the,
There'll be a pump in the cellar,
correct,
but it's just a lift pump. Just to pump it up to what would be gravity, I believe, and send it
Correct.
across the road.
The bathroom will be on the first floor.
Well, so I'm thinking that during the construction process
Oh, okay.
of how do you prevent, anything from discharging back? I know it's gravity, but the gravity on these systems is minimal. It's 2.5%.
can he answer
During
that?
construction, there would be
Cut
no
off.
use of it.
No, there wouldn't be use of it, but
it'll be
you
cut
and I both
off.
know groundwater
Oh,
doesn't
that's
get through the top.
Well, the best thing to do with that would be cut it at the edge of pavement and just cap it.
But do you,
So the-
do you
this-
pump that tank prior to anything just to be safe?
Why would you need to?
That
Why
house,
would you need to?
that,
Because
has that been
it's sealed
active?
with a 4-inch cap.
Is,
You
is,
never know.
If I, getting the gist of this, the septic system is not connected to anything. There's no functional toilet or
Brand
sink
new.
in
Nothing
there right now.
They're right, I'm sorry. Thank
brand
you.
new, hasn't even
Nothing
been
there now.
utilized.
No,
So that doesn't add any ability to
Then it's a
That is a
moot
mute concern.
it's a moot point, correct.
mute or move. Which way are we going with this?
Well,
Mute,
it's-
move,
it's-
whatever.
I call them James Isms in my house.
Good call. I like that one.
So no, the plan is that, once.
So it's not
once-
even in use yet, so.
Yeah, once it's constructed, then we either work with the highway department and with, I've been assured that the connections.
You're already across the road and everything, right? With that system, with the new system over to the house,
No,
you haven't even gone across the road.
no,
So you
So
have
that
no
needs to-
worries at all.
No, well, it does work, because that needs to be taken into account for this. So that's another part of this, because it's within the 100-foot buffer. It needs to be represented on the plan.
Hook up.
Yeah, because you gotta have the pipe going across.
Yeah, good point.
you know, that would have been the discussion with Jimmy, that there's gonna be a point in time where there's gonna be a tar cut and a line drop.
Or,
So
Well, it should be on, it should be on the plan.
it should be
It
in the
needs to be
schedule.
represented on the
Yeah.
plan.
okay, so, does it need just to be
No.
represented on the plan, or do we need to talk to the highway department and come up with a plan with
The
them?
highway
Just
department
to-
doesn't have anything
I don't-
to do with that.
Well, no, they do, because you're cutting in the public way.
It's sectionally, technically,
Actually,
it is a town way right there, because the town road technically ends at Steve's driveway. What was Smith's driveway, I should say.
Oh, right,
Steve
right,
Smith's driveway, yeah,
Right.
Donna and Steve.
Yeah. So it's a variable with existing 150-year-old road that serviced those camps and Dr. Rossi's house.
Right,
That's why I was amazed that it does.
Although the town road technically ended at that old gate post
Yep,
at the
Smith house.
farm.
mhm. Okay, so we need to have,
Yeah,
So he needs to put forth a schedule of when the septic system is hooked up, when he scheduled it in with the town.
Well,
The town's not gonna put it in, his engineer and his,
I
people are
think
gonna
what
put
he
it
needs
in.
to do is he needs to go see Jim Smith. Probably with a plan from the engineer. Sketch from the engineer showing a road cut
so part of that,
and going across the road, getting it across the road,
It'd be-
probably at time of
because
backfill.
this is going to be all reported, this should also, the
'Cause this is gonna be,
septic plan should be imposed on this,
yeah, it should.
so that
It's all included in the order of
and
conditions.
we know you are, and that's a separate order of conditions, but just because you want, if you keep the plan up to date, it's easier in the long run. It should be
You can show
included
that.
so that,
He should show that septic over here on this plan. He should show the line coming out of the house, left side, right side, wherever it's gonna be, Mike.
Uh-huh.
And showing it going across the variable width, whatever the hell it is. I don't think it's very wide right there. It's only probably 20
14 feet,
feet.
it said,
Yeah, 14 foot
plus or
down
minus.
right away.
So in other words, with the new septic system that was put in 2022,
All they have to do is just cut and paste it
Yeah.
on this
Yeah,
plan.
just show it on.
and then
it
show
on
where the
paper.
pipes are.
Show it with
Where
elevation.
the pipes are
just-
going.
And it
Now,
should
We
be
have-
as-built too,
Because you'll
use the
have-
as-built numbers,
Yeah,
just so
yeah.
that it's referenced
you'll have
correctly.
all that information on your new septic plan, all that, it'll all be there.
Right, we have that, it's just a matter of putting the
But
two
what
plans
Jimmy
together.
wants
Yes.
is that
And
plan
just. put it on-
demonstrated here, so we know where the D-box connection is, to where the
This is
house
where the
connection.
pipe's gonna go across the road
Yeah.
from the house, the
Right,
So,
variable width, 14 foot wide.
because
road.
you're gonna probably, depending on how they look at this road, you'll probably have to go to the selectmen and get a permit to do an open cut on the town road.
Most likely.
They
And they're gonna-
require a permit for no, okay.
they're gonna wanna see a plan. But because it's within 100-foot buffer, it needs to be represented on this plan.
and can I ask, Jim Smith is,
He would be the town highway
Oh, yeah,
superintendent,
DPW,
DPW,
Highways.
whatever it is, Townsend Highway. And
we don't,
get him to go out there and take a look at it. And he can give you just the direction to travel. From the town selectman's perspective. It is an existing, there was something there, obviously in the past.
right,
All of those houses on that side, I think the septic's across the road, so there's some of them
all
that
of them.
have septics.
mhm,
So they've all gone across under the little 14, normally a right of way is 50 feet wide to 40 feet wide. 40 feet being about the narrowest
Hidden
today.
pond is
This
special.
happens to be 14 feet wide. Like I say, that was a cart road. Horses used to go up through there with horses and buggies 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And Model Ts, so they didn't need a 25-foot wide road. Everybody that travels up that road, when they meet their neighbor that's coming back from the grocery store, somebody pulls over onto somebody's yard, the other guy pulls into somebody else's yard, and they kind of squeeze by one another
right,
in just the right spots. And it's worked for 100 years. It's not like it's a high traffic area.
No.
You got Dr. Rossi's place, Smith's place, And then those few camps that are
let's-
homes after you.
Let's keep this
Okay.
neat and tidy today.
All right, now just quickly, several people have mentioned to us that there's, some people can actually drill under the road without
Yes,
disturbing.
you can do horizontal drilling. This would be a
That would
good
be a
candidate.
good
That would be a
candidate for
good
that,
candidate
because it's
for-
all sand,
Horizontal drill.
trenchless
And,
excavation,
and it's such a short push,
correct.
you know, and we,
Yep.
yeah,
The other thing is, and we've done it on projects in the past, is the need, sometimes it's good to have a double silt fence, especially with the elevation change here and movement.
you want to double the wattles or you want wattles?
Wattles, I would say double wattles and silt fence, one row of wattles at the bottom, right at the end of his
Yeah.
deck. The water is 25 feet from the deck right now, because the water's low and it's not gonna come up in spring, but put a double row of wattles and a row of silt fence right at the bottom.
Yeah, but I'm talking another row of silt fence too. We did that on.
To the
You
bottom,
feel comfortable, you feel that that's gonna need
It
it.
is, it's
Yeah.
sand.
No, I know, right?
and it's a real
right
aggressive
off the
down
road.
gradient, so if that water starts chucking down through there.
If
it's-
it wasn't off the road, if the road wasn't right there,
Yeah, I suppose, yeah, you could
I would
generate a
feel
lot
more
of flow
comfortable,
down through
but-
there.
Mm.
Yeah, that's a
But I
good
think
point.
the silt, for anything to catch anything, that could blow into construction
That's
debris.
what I
That,
would be afraid that if it's gonna blow out, it's gonna blow out bad.
That- and that pond can get real windy up there.
Good point.
Fortunately, the wind
What?
usually blows across the pond up towards us.
Towards the Girl Scout.
But, yeah, we'll put all the wattles you want. In fact,
Well, that's something that should be depicted on the plan, so that when DEP gets the revised copy, they're aware that that's
So-
been taken
Okay.
into consideration.
so can you show me where exactly we need to put the wattles?
Well, so you've got, what do they have?
It displays the
Is this
existing,
just wattle? There's no silt fence?
no silt fence,
So it needs silt fence too.
absolutely. I thought that's what you were referring
Oh,
to
yeah,
by.
no, I'm sorry.
Oh,
So-
okay.
This should be wattles and silt fence.
Right along
Is
the
it
road.
possible? Well, I can get another one of
You
these,
can-
but
we
you
can
write
mark
on
this.
that one and I can take it. So we
You've
know
got
exactly
another
what's
copy
going-
here too, so you got plenty of them to
Oh,
make notes on and copy. And Matt is obviously not with us still, he signed off, so he should have been maybe, but you'll get these footnotes to him.
yeah.
And then do another row. Going down.
So
Yeah,
wattles
leave it-
all the way there.
Yeah, well, so wattles and silt fence,
Oh, okay.
where it's marked,
The
and then,
whole
and then do another row of it. You know, down closer to the water.
Yeah, the biggest thing is that silt fencing to keep any debris from blowing in.
And to prevent if you have a washout. When it washes, it's gonna wash.
It's a torrent, that would be just so much speed in a short amount of time going down that hill. So a lot of the prevention should be to the top of the hill as much as the sides.
I'm also not supposed to be designing it, but,
You're just footnoting it, that's all. Requests.
Yeah, that needs the septic.
Sorry to interrupt. Can you guys hear me again?
yes,
Mhm.
Matt.
Okay, sorry. My computer just froze and I had to restart it. So I wanted to let you guys know that.
Oh,
Thank you.
But you missed all the good stuff.
Welcome back, man.
I really apologize, guys. That's really weird.
No, it's okay, we're not gonna take any points today, Matt.
No demerits?
None.
Okay.
In fact, we're gonna give you points.
Is it okay if I tell you if you tell me what I missed?
Yeah, so you have wattles on the plan. We feel that it should be wattles and silt fence, but it should be doubled. So two rows of wattle, 2 rows of silt fence, you know, with walking path in between, just because of the grade change from the road down to the pond.
You gotta
And
remember the road on somebody else's property.
I know, so you're gonna have,
well, this one won't be any problem at all. This one, we'll talk with about it.
Well, I mean, you can trench in the silt fence too. So that will actually help with the double row of wattles.
Those two.
well, no, we feel that having a second silt fence instead of, second
Oh, so you
row
want-
of silt fence.
2 silt
And
fences and
Yeah,
2 wattles?
Yeah, you know, and leave a space in between, so if one fails, there's that second catch, and the road up top is, you know, the water that could come off of it in one of those heavy rains. Better safe than sorry.
Okay, so is it,
That would make your Christmas or holiday gatherings weird, if you filled the pond with silt.
so if this is our property, let's say that this is the house.
Yeah.
So, on the other side of the stairs onto here, there would be, is it wattle, silt fence, or? It's a wattle, silt fence, wattle, silt fence.
Right,
Okay.
with space in between, so that if the first silt fence falls, it has room to, you know.
Okay. And the roughly in between is just walkable distance?
5, 6 feet, whatever is feasible,
Oh, that much, so,
or 3 feet, whatever's.
so it
feasible.
adds up to 15 feet maybe, something like that.
I can't design it.
Okay, right, okay, good.
The other thing, Matt, on this plan is the location of the existing well. Yeah,
The well is not located
it's not
on the map.
And
Okay,
then the as-built for the septic that was put in, which I know is under a different DEP permit, should be on this plan, and also the proposed crossing in the road, because that's gonna have to go get a permit for the open cut, or if they're gonna, Mike asked about trenchless excavation also for that.
Okay, so you
Whatever
basically want Evan Carloni's, do you want the entire septic system or just that area in the road for the force main that leads to the house?
If you're gonna copy and paste it, I would copy and paste the whole thing.
All right, I can work on getting that done.
You know, that's how, I'm assuming that's how you probably do it, just get that external reference.
Well, I mean, I can give an electronic copy of Evan's plan to Chris Pera, who did this plan, and Chris can take the data and just superimpose it on his.
Okay, whatever works, just so we see it.
Now, does it need,
so who will put in the well
Sure.
location? Matt will too, right?
Because how do you know exactly where it is without tracing it?
Right.
What, Judy?
Who's gonna put the well location in? We should have that on the map too.
well,
I was going to say Evan's data should have the well location.
yeah,
Because he had to
Okay.
do a well offset. So
All right, good.
I will talk to Evan about that tomorrow. That
Just-
shouldn't be an
yeah.
issue.
And part of that is, if he's gonna have a plan, he might as well have a complete plan, so that later, in
We'll have
whenever,
all that information
they'll have,
available.
but
It'll be on. one.
again, you know, doing the road crossing, that's within the 100-foot wetland buffer, so that's on us, but he's gonna have to take this and figure that permit out with, the town.
It's 70 feet.
So, what else? Pat, I'm gonna go back to you again. I don't know if you have anything you wanna add to it, or thoughts or concerns,
No, I do
90,
not.
100.
Kevin?
No, it was cut and dry, considering the circumstances. It's an, you know, an existing lot that's been there for 100 years. The foundation is sheared, it needs to be,
Oh, that's
it
it.
needs to be replaced.
I don't have any
There's no-
problem with the project
Yeah.
itself.
Just, you know, like I say, the biggest issue obviously is
Making
erosion
sure it's-
control. And, you know, kind of getting a little permission from the neighbors to try to at least use this little section to put some wattles on, at the very least.
Yeah, but and it's nice, you know, you have the pond elevations on the visits, so, and I don't know what the foundation height's gonna be.
I was well above it. It's, from what I could see, if I had to take a wild guess at it, I'd say it's what, 8 feet above the mean high water mark. Probably, if not, maybe even a
Well,
little
8
bit
feet,
more.
we'll put it right almost at the road. No, sorry, 10 feet below the road, never mind.
Yeah.
I was wrong.
maybe not quite that much, but it's clearly above.
5, 6 feet
Yeah,
probably.
yeah.
Are we talking about the foundation?
Yeah, we were just talking about
Cell
the height.
floor elevation versus the mean high water mark.
Yeah, I was going to say it should be a minimum of about 5 feet based on what I'm seeing
Yeah,
on the data. Yeah, you could be
looks
right.
like about 5 or 6 feet.
Yeah.
What do
You could be very right.
At the pond?
No, right down the
the-
bottom.
Rise up.
Right now, the water's low,
Mhm.
and my evaluation of that was from that based on the proposed cellar floor elevation.
Yeah,
That it looked like it was 5 or 6 feet or better.
I see. I see.
So-
And what would be the
I see.
mean high water
So
mark,
that-
spring
let's make
runoff,
it
ice
easy.
melt?
Let's make it easy. Matt, can you put the proposed solar floor elevation on there? I think Mike has it in his,
So deck elevation
Design.
484.6. Okay, I see why you want that.
Is he gone again?
No, I'm here. So Waddles, yeah, my wife just informed me the reason why I was having computer problems is because of whatever we're having for a storm. The power, I guess, blinked. It made all of my routers reset.
Oh,
So it looked like all of you guys were sitting there like frozen like mannequins.
well,
So, but my
Oh.
computer's on a battery. I guess when I restarted it, it started around the same time the internet came back on. So again, I appreciate the indulgence here. So we got wattles that you want and silt fence and double rows.
yep,
You want the septic outlined on it, and you want the top. You want the top of the bottom of floor. What?
cellar, or
Cellar
first,
floor
lower,
elevation,
first,
just-
lower cellar floor, elevation, cause it's
Elevation.
stepping up, cause it's kind of a tri-level.
Yes.
Yep.
Step, it's all gonna be step
something
foundation.
tells me that.
Actually, that's an excellent term for it. Tri-level.
Yeah, well, that'd be the term I'd use. That's what we used to call them when we did them.
And given DEP,
Site
that
form,
information
yeah.
is never, they'd like to know on that stuff
Yeah.
for some reason.
Then it's on there.
As
They've got
far as elevation.
elevation off the lower level, second level, top of
Especially
foundation,
with this.
proposed top of
in
foundation.
such proximity
Yeah.
to the pond.
And anything, showing a trench location crossing the road. Matt,
Yep.
And you're gonna,
and showing the septic box on the other side, the leach field box. And on the other side of the road, and showing the existing well location, you don't have it. It's gotta be there, he's got it.
Yeah.
Just got to get it, put it on the data and get it in there.
Okay.
'Cause
Well, a lot of that is probably combining Evan's data along with Chris's data, which I can have Chris do. I will talk to Evan about it just to make sure I have all of the data because he has all of that already done. I have a lot of his stuff on my computers already. So I can
So you
just
can
basically give that data to
overlay
Chris.
it onto these.
yeah, whatever magic they
So it
do.
won't be.
Old school way, they just take one guy's work and they load it right, lay it right onto the survey plan.
Next time.
Instead of
That
having
sounds like
another
that's
roll,
right.
another plan, another level.
So this needs to be done for the next
Well,
meeting, which is
let-
January.
That's what,
If you get the-
hold on, let's talk, Matt, do you think you can have this done for January 8th, or should we wait until the 22nd?
No, I'd go to the 8th. I don't think there'd be a problem getting it done.
All of that information is available, Cat.
I wanna make sure, I don't wanna,
Yeah.
Well, no, and I appreciate that. I probably would have asked for longer if it was going to require some more survey work or other shots or other types of locations. But the
Existing.
data's already been gathered here. So
Yep.
it's just a matter of having them sit down at their computers and taking care of it. That's what that amounts to. That's why I say the 8th should work.
So well location, we'll have the septic, we'll have
The pipe crossing.
yep, Mike has a list and
The
I
cutback.
drew on the plan of things that we.
And I
were
think-
looking for.
DEP
With
would
the absence of Matt.
want that,
Had
enough,
to.
want that elevation too, at the
Yeah.
bottom.
Yeah, the
Just because here's where the
proposed floor elevation.
right. And there's times on that pond that I've seen it halfway up my aunt's and uncle's stairway there. That pond can get very high sometimes.
So it just confirms that the height is where it needs to be.
Good. Wow.
Alright, so I'll make a motion to
Mhm.
continue the notice of intent hearing for 22 Sauna Row Road to January 8th, 2025.
Second.
Kevin seconded. Roll call vote, please.
I
Yeah,
was
see,
supposed to get that one. Jim DeRoyan, yes,
James Gates, yes.
Kevin Smith, yes.
Cat, oh, yes.
took her thunder.
Thank you, Matt.
My thanks. And again, I apologize for the,
Now you
Okay,
get,
all
now
right,
you can
okay.
Now
step
you
back.
have to check out.
Now you can step up. the table and
It's
let
your
it
turn to
check
say
out.
goodbye, be quiet, leave.
All right, guys.
Go away. Go away.
have a good night.
Thank you, you as well. So we'll do the meeting minutes
And look who
after
comes in.
this next, hearing. Chair report, I don't have anything to add. We're just trying to keep going without an agent. They're on their second round of.
Good evening,
agent
Mr.
interviews.
Hoffman. How are you, sir? Good. Thank you for joining us tonight. You always enjoy your company. Now, you have your copy all ready to go to give to Matt?
All right, ready? I gotta try to order.
Here's your extras, good. I'll put them here, out of your way. Smell, Cal. At least you have something to look at. That's almost 20, that's 20 years old
Just
too.
honorably remove myself from this hearing
Okay.
because of my relationship with Mr. Pond.
You've been.
I'll make that. Thanks.
Is this stuff you have to make sure you put in the right places for Sabrina?
I just trying to
Get
get everything.
you assist me with everything now?
Let's see this. Let's do this one. Sabrina, were you able to print the stuff I just sent you? Let's see if we can try to get through this.
No worries.
Mr. Hahn is here. Who? Our applicant.
Oh,
If you don't
You
mind
said Mr.
introducing
Hahn.
yourself and who you're representing, where the property location, you.
HAW.
Than I have.
Dave Brossman, BNC Associates, representing Brad Hahn, the applicant at One Brown Road. Looking to put an addition and a deck onto his existing single-family house. So we were here at the last meeting, and I guess there were a bunch of questions that I wasn't privy to because I had to go to a hearing in Concord. But I'm here to answer any questions you may have now.
So there was, well, Sabrina's printing off something right now. I've got, I don't know, I'm just gonna sit with the facts right for a second.
Are you rebuttal from DEP and?
No, there is no rebuttal from DEP. So I'm gonna read the comments from DEP. I'll reread the letter from November 7th, 2024, and then we will go from there. So DEP comments were issued October 30th. This is DEP file 308-0718 for One Brown Road, Brad Hahn, single family home addition deck. The National Heritage tracking number is 24-18757. The project has been assigned the following number, 308-0718. Issuance of a file number indicates only completeness of submittal, not approval of application. Although file number is being issued, please note the following. The applicant should provide the commission DEP with a determination letter issued by NHESP in 2021 to verify the expiration date and any conditions that may have been specified, even if no take determination was issued. Any conditions specified in the NHESP determination should be incorporated into the OOC for the current project. The commission should refrain from closing the hearing until revised materials are received by Mass DEP and the commission. That was the first comment. Second comment is erosion controls should be extended behind the proposed addition to prevent erosion sedimentation in the wetlands down gradient adjacent to Wallace Hill Road. That is the DEP comment. National Heritage is the applicant listed above has submitted a NOI with site plans dated October 2024, one sheet prepared by David E. Ross Associates Incorporated to the National Heritage and Endangered Species Program of the Massachusetts Division of Fisheries and Wildlife. The division, in compliance with the Rare Wildlife Species section of the Mass WPA regulations 310 CMR 10.59. The plan shows the proposed 20 by 50 foot addition and 10 by 10 foot deck on the south side of the existing house within the existing fenced area. The WPA, the purpose of the division's review of the proposed project under the WPA regulations for state listed rare wetland wildlife is to determine whether the project will occur within actual resource area habitat and will result in short or long-term adverse effects to the resource area habitats. Based on a review of the information provided and the information that is currently contained in our database, the division has determined that this project will not adversely affect the actual resource area habitat of state listed rare wildlife. Therefore, this project meets the state listed rare wetland wildlife performance standards for the issuance of an order of conditions. This determination addresses only the matter of state listed rare wetland wildlife habitat. Massachusetts Endangered Species Act, MESA, based on a review of the information that was provided, the division has determined that this project as currently proposed appears to be exempt from MESA review pursuant to 321 CMR 10.14, which states the following projects and activities shall be exempt from the requirements of 321 CMR 10.18 through 10.23 for the maintenance, repair, replacement, or additions, including the construction of a driveway for an existing single-family or two-family home within existing paved and lawfully developed and maintained lawns or landscape areas, provided there is no expansion of such existing paved lawn and landscaped areas. Any changes to the proposed project or any additional work beyond that provided may require a filing with the division pursuant to MESA regulations. Please note that the determination addresses only the matters of state listed species and their habitats. If you have any questions about this letter, please contact Melanie Cheeseman, Endangered Species Review Assistant. And signed Jesse Ledick, Assistant Director. Was the letter of determination forwarded to DEP per their request?
According to you guys, I'm
You did forward a letter to,
To us. DEP where to go? Well, we don't have it, but it's just, thank you. This letter.
Yeah, the stuff that was submitted should be in the yellow file.
Okay. Yeah, this that I sent you last night.
Yeah.
Thank you. Did you get the one I had sent you today?
That's what I got.
Oh.
that's what you just read.
No, there was a different one. It's fine.
Are you gonna go through that one too, or is
That was
that?
the same thing. It's just a copy. So if you want to
I would. If there's a copy available.
This is previous stuff. Okay, so the letter of determination was not forwarded to DEP. Read it. So I will read the letter from August 6th, 2021.
So, before you do that,
Yes,
can I say that that letter is actually a moot at this point, because this letter that we received of this filing supersedes, right? That letter was for the RDA that we filed.
Was that with
2 years ago.
NES?
Yes,
Goes over DEP. They're the final word. Good paper.
I understand that. So in the comment, it asked for a copy and it asked for that any conditions.
so DEP, Natural Heritage copies the commission and DEP when they send these out. So DEP has, I would expect.
The same copy that, and
But when you receive, they receive, because they send them
correct,
out.
they all CC back and forth with
Right.
each other.
Right.
Well, it doesn't, there's a CC section on the bottom and it's not filled out.
Okay, but I think the point being is that on both sides, it's clean paper. Ready for a motion.
Let me just read this letter to our records,
Mm-hmm.
because it,
My exuberant excitement of it.
Dear applicant, this letter is dated August 6th, 2021. Thank you for submitting the visa project review checklist, site plans, and drawn dated 1/14/19, and other required materials to the NHESP, Mass Division of Fisheries and Wildlife, for review. I'm going to summarize this. So based on a review of the information that was provided and information that is currently contained in our database, the division has determined that this project from 2021 as currently proposed will not result in a prohibited take of state listed species. Determination is a final decision of the Division of Fisheries and Wildlife. Thank you. Any changes to the proposed project or any additional work beyond this that is shown on the site plans may require an additional filing for this division pursuant to the NISA. This project may be subject to further review if no physical work is commenced within 5 years from the date of issuance of the determination. And that project in 2021 was to relocate the driveway, and that project was completed.
So that was what, 2017?
No. You went to
The driveway?
No. Give me that.
No, I know that. My question was the driveway was done
In 2021,
21.
the DEP had referenced
Yep,
the letter from 2021, which I had just read. So it's been read in,
2020, yep,
it's been read into our record.
into our records. Very good.
So if you don't mind continuing, thank you for being patient while I practice my reading. Now I know why my kids are so tired at the end of the day.
So I know that there was a concern about whether there was a permanent restriction on the property based on the original order of conditions.
Oh,
2017.
Well, we were worried about an open OOC through Benjamin.
That's closed.
Moving on.
All right. Well, I just want to say that there is no permanent restriction recorded in the order of conditions.
For that, anything within the or did you review the original deed? And I assume the property owner has, it would be outlined right in the original deed.
That there was an OOC.
Note that there is a restriction on the property. Kevin's familiar with these. On a separate piece of property.
Right, but the commission can put the permanent conditions, which they didn't do at the time of the construction of this house,
Right, because we have, it was a copy of the original.
of which I was the applicant.
Now, is that 2017?
Yep, right here.
Feb 1. That's why I was open at that,
I
looking
know,
at
would
that.
you like, I'm not gonna read more to them,
No,
but
but it's straight. Go to the next one over, it reads it. So that's why I was open to that, reading it. Keep going.
but you want me to go back to their original determination letter?
Where I was at on that, that's why I was reading it. Kind of moved, but it could
What
be
it
good.
states is to have a turtle plan.
Right, that was,
In a compliance report, and your siltation barriers are in place until the work is completed, and they're taken down immediately after they're.
So everybody can
Stabilized.
freely move about the country.
right, that only applied to the construction of the house because the foundation was an open pit.
For the interim of that until completed. After
Right.
that, it
Right,
goes
once-
away.
Right, once the house is in and you have lawn is not considered critical.
Turtle habitat.
Yeah,
It isn't, it's called something, gets mowed once a week.
right. So all our work is within existing lawn.
The only thing we jumped ahead of
Fenced in lawn.
fenced in, and we're still, aren't we going with some silt fence to the other side of the fence too for,
The silt fence is on the inside of the fence. So if we have any erosion, it won't even reach the fence.
how good can that be?
And we're not cutting any trees or we're not into any naturally existing woodland.
It's a,
So,
it's a beautiful thing. I'm so excited to get him on his way to,
Okay, so one of the things that needs to be taken into consideration, and this is something that I know National Heritage is big on. What, Brad, you're gonna have to answer this because it's your property. Are there any other projects in the foreseeable future that you plan on doing? One of the things in the original order of conditions, and this isn't just for you, this is it's a national heritage thing. They're actually doing it with the rail trail right now. They wanna know what the full picture is, 20, 30 years,
Forecasted, yeah.
going down the road so that when they do it, the review, it's, what is the impact gonna be?
Yeah, I mean, I can-
Which yours is within the landscape area, again, you're not taking down trees,
Of course.
you're not filling in anything.
Right.
Do you,
I have no intention today to, but I can't tell you what comes along 10 years from now. You know, all of a sudden, I hit the jackpot.
we're going up,
I'm-
we're going big.
I may go up, you know what I mean, but right now, I have no intention of doing anything further. Again, I'm just trying to make the house bigger for the family.
and you're doing it within I feel personally, within a reasonable area that was part of the original project. You're not clearing anything, you're gonna stay within that area.
The whole project is in a well-controlled area.
You know,
Better than that we've seen in a lot of different plans.
but part of it is, I believe you're planning on doing it during when, outside of their breeding or their egg laying or whatever season, so.
But isn't that kind of difficult to ask a man what the future of it is? maybe he'll have another kid and he's gonna wanna put on more addition.
It is, but it's something that
How can you
It is-
predict
it is
something you can't predict?
I understand that, but it is something that
Well,
is,
That's why I said today, I have no additional plans.
and I bet you didn't when you bought the house.
That's it. I didn't have plans to do that. So, I mean, I think if you look at the original plans, the septic tank was a 4-bedroom septic tank. I don't know any builder that's gonna go put a 4-bedroom septic tank in just for the heck of it. It was at one point in time approved for a 4-bedroom.
To go bigger.
Yeah.
I think it's just gonna be a beautiful accent to the neighborhood.
But the environmental impact,
How,
I
it's zero.
well, no, it's not zero. Don't see words like that.
What could
I
it
don't
be
see
within
there
the fence
being, I
area?
don't see it being a negative impact to the habitat,
And you
the
knew what I
endangered
meant.
species habitat. I know, but I'm gonna word it so that it keeps us somewhat out of trouble. Pat,
That's his middle name. I mean, it's, I got a lot here.
Right?
Mike,
Well, okay, so this was an interesting event for me because of, you know, being new on the board. Admittedly, I didn't know a lot, still don't know a lot to learn, but this was my first site visit. And I was excited because, oh, I think I'm pretty good at seeing the big picture, analyzing where trouble might be and all that. And so we get there and it's part of the yard, inside the fence. You see, you know, the wetland is way down there. And I thought, what am I missing? You know, I realized that, sure, maybe there were some things in the past that were done or weren't done correctly, and that's different. I've got to learn all about that stuff. But in terms of the project itself, it was like, I didn't see any issue myself. So I'm thinking, what am I missing? I've got to be missing something here. There's got to be more to it than this. And I can tell you exactly the moment when I had the revelation, and that was the last meeting, when just before I asked Ms. Mack if her intention was to stop the project or just make sure it was done in a way that was correct. And the revelation was, that's what I was missing. The project itself is separate from how you do the project. And so as long as I can be convinced that, and I think I'm already convinced that you're not taking the fence down. Talked last time about going across the front yard, going inside. There's going to be some silt fence up. There's going to be some protection. I personally don't see an issue at all.
And you looked for one. You struggled to find one, and you couldn't. Outstanding. I think he's gonna be a great commissioner.
you said something very similar last time too. I don't know if you want to repeat it. I don't want to.
Yeah, I mean, I can't see, it's not, you know, as far as with the wildlife and all that, we've already got the fence up and everything. I don't see any problems with it at all going forward. I mean, it's all enclosed, you know, he's just adding on and, no, I have no problems with it.
You put it even better last time.
I
But this
know.
time was still good. I think it was still good.
Might be on tape. I don't know.
We can bring it back up, but it was, her point
I'm all
was
for it.
well taken, and I got right where she was going with it.
Jimmy, well, now it's your turn. You know, your thoughts, and then I'm gonna open it up to the public because
Sure.
I have to, and
Sure.
I feel.
I think the man's spot
they have
on.
the
I
right
think
to, so
everything
let's-
that he's doing, there's no taking, we're good with natural heritage, we're good with DEP. I think one of the biggest problems is the individual I'm looking at in the screen. I don't think there's any problem with that project. I think it's a personal situation within the butter. Very disturbing. Very disturbing.
I'll open it up to public comment.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that was to me, Jim.
you mind just introducing yourself?
Oh,
Yes,
sorry,
ma'am.
this is Linda Mack and Kimo Lee. So
Yes,
Jim, you were saying that
Yes, yes,
to
it
me?
it is.
Okay,
And I
so,
found very
so-
fascinating, those signs that you put up for chemical drift and your organic farming. I'd like
So-
to be enlightened on that also, ma'am.
Okay, let her
so
talk.
Jim, I just want to remind you, the only reason you're on this commission is to
Absolutely.
enforce the
Jimmy,
Wetlands
Jimmy.
Protection Act and the bylaw. You don't need to get into anything personal.
It's not personal, it's professional.
No,
Jimmy.
you're being very personal. So the only thing I want to say is that in the original orders in 2006, I gave them to James. They are on the deed. And they say,
I want to go back a little further to see this.
so the one condition that I want to make sure is on this condition and underscored is the condition about no herbicides, pesticides, insecticides are allowed within 100 feet. And Jim, if you want to know why those signs are up, I gave all the information to James. He has all the documentation of that. I don't think it's appropriate to bring it up here, but it's the background information to make sure that no more chemicals, pesticides and herbicides go on my property.
So that is, so you don't have conflict with your organic certification?
So I'm not here to be questioned by you, Jim.
It was a question I just asked, are your concerns for the overspraying for your organic certification?
It's for my organic practicing that I do on my farm.
I'm here to discuss this hearing, please. And I'm here.
Okay, so
I asked my question, I could go further. So you are
hold on.
a registered, you're a farm in Townsend registered?
Jimmy.
Yes, why? What do you care? You're a commissioner and you should be putting on orders of condition and you should be making sure that the protections of wetlands are happening. You don't need to get into the, gossip or whatever you've heard in town. Stop acting like a little gossiper, Jim. Just do the job you're supposed to do. And all I'm asking is that be underscored. I sent it to James.
Yeah, and it's.
Let that be an order of condition because it has been a problem in the past. That's all.
Oh, yeah.
Kim, would you like to say anything? And if you do, please just introduce yourself, please.
I will introduce myself. My name is Kim Greeno, 50 Wallace Hill Road. And I had some email comments and I appreciate they were taken and I was able to actually attend this meeting.
And they were read
They
into the
were-
record.
Oh, thank you. Based on my recollection about when these hearings first came through, that Conservation Commission spent a lot of time reflecting Mr. Crossman's tendency to minimize everything to try to protect this section of town. This section of town is surrounded by fish and wildlife properties because they recognize that it's an important wildlife corridor and wildlife habitat. And I think that board deserves some recognition for the amount of effort they put into trying to permit this lot in a way that allowed the house to be built and still protected what is very special about what we have out there. And when I hear comments that minimize, dismiss, it's very dismaying to me. It's a really great spot up there. And I would ask this board to please do your job as a Conservation Commission to put in orders, conditions I mean, you can boilerplate what they wrote. They already did the work for you, right? You need to recognize that work that they already did.
They did. The conditions are perfect.
And please don't dismiss it. And Mr. Crossman knows that every lot like this, which was difficult to permit, and I recognize what the board went through to permit, he knows that there's still creep, and he's very slowly worked this one in. So please
I am not
please don't
minimizing
dismiss.
anything, and I have Natural Heritage saying that we're not minimizing anything.
Okay,
They are the experts, far more expert than I am, in
Well,
saying
alright.
this has no impact to the wildlife in this area,
okay.
this addition. That's what the regulations state. We have to get their say-so from the experts. I did that, I sent it to them for review. If they said we couldn't do it, we wouldn't do it. Under the regulations, and all we're doing is following the
Saying you
regulations.
can't do it. I think it's about doing it in
I wanna
a
remind-
manner that's recognizing.
And we are
area
doing,
and
we
the
are
task
doing it the
force.
way that the regulations say we have to do it.
Can I express a little ignorance?
But
So I'm wondering, how does pesticides tie into this house
I'm
construction?
getting there. And I'll read it, and it's something that is typically forgotten.
To do the right thing.
Well, the thing is it's in our we have a standard order of conditions. It is not something that has changed from that time. But it is something that is, it's very loose. And it's
The
something that,
OOC?
yep, it's always been part of the OOC. I'm just looking for the, so attachment A is something we always vote on, correct?
Yeah.
Issue an order of conditions with attachment A, with the following special conditions, which, as an example. As an example, like Mike's, that we were just talking about, the double silk fence. Yeah, no, don't fall.
No, no.
So in our standard order of conditions, which was developed way before my time, one of the conditions is, it's number 16, no chemical pesticides, herbicides, or insecticides should be used within 100 feet of the wetland. No chemical de-icers shall be used on a driveway within 100 feet of the wetland pursuant to the WPA Mass General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40. In the Wetlands Bylaw, Town of Townsend, and the rules and regulation.
What are the chemicals and what are the spraying that's going on?
Let's
But that's
not get into an
that
argument.
So,
is, hold on, that's not what we're talking about right
Right.
now. We're talking about an addition.
all I'm saying is, could you just make sure it's a condition and that you clarify that to Mr. Hahn so he knows that? I think everything is fine, but I don't, as an
Are we
abutter,
obligated?
as an abutter, I get to have my opinion about things. But as a conservation commission, I can put on my hat when I used to be a commissioner. There's nothing here that says you can't have an addition. So I don't even know why you guys are even thinking that he couldn't have his addition. So I'm just saying that as a former conservation commissioner. But as an abutter, I can voice my concerns, and it's not personal. It's just I'm an abutter and I have seen things, and I'm asking you guys as conservation commissioners to make sure that that is put on the conditions. If it's a standard condition still, that's great.
Well, Linda, you probably were on, you might have been on when they developed the standard order of conditions.
Mm-hmm.
So I know you're well aware of it. So if it's a matter of following the standard order conditions, everyone gets it with a notice of order of conditions.
Right, and for the record, we're not opposed, we have never been opposed to that condition
No.
whatsoever. We have no objections to that being.
Exactly. Exactly.
In terms of the actual project itself of building the addition within a previously landscaped area, I make a motion that we issue an standard order of conditions with attachment A, as we always do. with a, request that number 16 is, followed. Just because it's the right thing to do.
Could you read out
Well,
16?
I did, but I will read it again.
Again,
To
yeah.
appease you. No chemical pesticides, herbicides, or insecticides shall be used within 100 feet of the wetland. No chemical de-icers should be used on the driveway within 100 feet of the wetland pursuant to the Massachusetts WPA, Mass General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40, and the Wetlands Bylaw, Town of Townsend, and the rules and regulations promulgated thereunder. Again, that is nothing new.
But does the order of conditions warrant?
Hold on, I made a motion. We can second it and then we can discuss it and then go back and forth a little more.
That's the question. I think yeah,
But
You want to ask a question or you want to second it?
that's the question.
no, someone second it if they feel that we can vote on this. And then we can discuss if we need to and revise the vote.
Let's see what you want me to do.
No, that's up to the commission, not up to me.
Can I second it?
Um,
Just to move this on?
I can
So he seconded it,
No, I
and
just,
that leads to a discussion.
Yes,
It's
a
not
further
the vote,
discussion.
it's, okay.
Right.
Sure, I'll second.
Mike Boss said second. Now, discussion. Pat,
I just have a question. So, they have mosquito squad out here. My question is, if he decided that he wanted to do over towards his lawn and stuff like that, is there a problem with him doing that?
it depends on the insecticide used. A lot of those companies do use, I think, a lemongrass center.
They all have the
But I
MSDSs you can
I
get.
don't know.
Because when they came to my house, when I told them I had rabbits that would come certain areas, they avoided that area and they went on to other parts of my yard.
Right.
So, but
You know,
knowing if a truck goes there, I just
look-
don't want him to
let's
you
look at
know,
the plan, let's,
have a problem with everybody because, oh, there's a chemical truck here.
well, it's within 100, anything within 100 feet. Now, the chemical drift, that is,
Hey guys, just so you're aware, I may add a comment.
yes,
The reason why the driveway change was to add more privacy to those neighbors. It was really done as an effort to give more privacy back.
To the neighbors or for you?
Basically for everybody on that road. In addition to that, I also put up more fencing to be able to keep from any sort of spray drift taking place. So I put in quite a bit of money to try and appease people that live on the road.
well, so without pulling, I can't pull the plan. No, Jimmy, come here, I'll show you, because there's a wetland, the 100-foot.
I
wetland
guess
buffer.
I have to look at what I look at for spray drift in agriculture. I have 12 hives on the top of my hill, and I have somebody in the field directly across from my house with a Jatco with a 6 mils of atomizing spray to kill whatever is in the field area with bees out there. So what's chemical? I understand chemical drift in a big manner, but not with two neighbors across the street from one another spraying a controlled substance.
Jim,
Not gonna-
it isn't, Jim,
Linda.
it wasn't up to the neighbors and it's not up to you. It was up to the Mass Department of Ag.
But-
And they came and tested. And so,
That's,
it's all been done and it's all been resolved. So I don't even know why you're getting involved.
I'm not minimizing what you're saying, Linda, I'm trying to stick to the conservation side and looking at the proposed plan and the 100-foot wetland buffer. He's got a rectangle that gets small and gets bigger as you get to Brown Road, of area that he's allowed to.
Yep.
Yes,
Is the deviation the original one or was it redelineated? Just curious.
It was redelineated in 2022 for the RDA.
Oh, so it's a 2022 delineation.
Does the town ever de-ice or put salt on Brown Road?
every time it snows.
Yeah,
Well, aren't they breaking the rules then?
Town DPWs generally always break conservation rules.
The one?
DPWs is always.
Yeah, but they,
Well, I know, but,
It's up to you guys to.
well, I know,
We used
but,
to try,
yeah, but- okay, but they seem to be
That's,
breaking the rules, but, okay.
What rules?
Well, no salt within the 100-foot buffer.
they'll dig out the.
Brown
ditch
Road
water
is within the
permit.
100-foot buffer.
Brown Road doesn't have an order of conditions that say that.
Well, I know that. Okay, so technically, they're off the hook,
Mm,
but they're still putting salt on
they're out
the road
because
within the
board
100-foot
decides
buffer.
to mention
Guys, if I could,
So,
oh, hold on, okay, we've got 5 different conversations, now I'm just getting annoyed. So, we can't do anything about it because they drag their feet getting us an agent. Now we're finally trying to get us an agent, and we gotta go through 10 rounds of interview.
I know.
So,
Or it was-
if anyone wants to join us and help us, fine. You work full-time, I work full-time, you kind of do something. Pat's thankfully here helping us, and Mike has just joined us for the
It was
ride.
the same frustration.
So, we can only do so much, and I am so burnt out that I'm one meeting away from just calling it quits, and that I know what's gonna happen, and it's everything that you stand for, it's Jimmy, all of us in this room stand for, we all care. So, I understand where Linda's coming from with the spray drift. At this, at no point are we here bickering about why he shouldn't put an addition within a fenced-in area. We're talking about spray drift. We're outside of where we should be talking.
Yes, I agree.
And honestly, you guys, I just wanted to make sure it was an order of conditions. That's all.
It is.
And all of this drama from Jim and other people doesn't need to happen. You should just issue the orders of condition and you should move on. It's not worth all of this. You should just do it like James was saying.
Also, we are not objecting to this condition. We have never objected to this condition.
No.
Mr. Hahn,
I would like to read an email with DEP that's taken place in the past. I think it's important. Good afternoon. I have a question about mosquito control under WPA spraying.
can I stop for a second? Do you mind just telling us the date that you received or you sent it?
This,
You don't need to send them over.
No.
July 22nd, 2021. I have a question about mosquito control under the WPA. Spraying is an exempt activity. Is this only for government municipalities, or does this cover companies that are fully licensed to spray homeowners' yards? Response. What are your thoughts on this? I actually do not see where this is specifically addressed in the regs or called out as an exempt activity. 10.36 has regs for herbicides used supporting public utilities, but does not deal with mosquito spraying. Free category 4G applies to non-exempt mosquito control projects, but again, I do not find a definition of what would be considered an exempt mosquito control project. The agricultural sections do contain language for pesticide use, but would not apply to SFRs. My thoughts are that in theory, the activity should not result in loss of vegetation or any other measurable alteration of the resource area or buffer zone. Assuming the company applying the pesticides is licensed to do so, the work can occur without a permit.
So would you like to know why that's the case? Because mosquitoes are a public health hazard.
Right.
That is the way the state views it. Now, is that right or wrong? I'm not here to discuss it tonight. I'm just not. But that is because it's, triple E, that's how the state views it. And again, doesn't make it right, it doesn't make it wrong. It's one of those things, but our standard order of conditions includes that line. Obviously, the applicant is willing to abide by it, so that it follows the order of conditions. That's how I'm gonna word it, so it will follow the order of
Are we
conditions.
obligated to do that one?
Yes, but it's a standard order of conditions.
Mm-hmm.
Done
I don't
for
know.
everyone?
Yeah, everyone that has.
So it's
an order-
automatically attached every time you
Yep.
make a decision. Then there's nothing to talk about.
Let's vote on this and be
But
done with it.
it's a point that, and I agree with Linda, it's a point that is often forgotten about. All these are. We should have a story time and go through every single one of these at some point, because people forget about the little things. So
No, we don't.
I made a motion, Mike seconded. We can have a vote, or we can just keep going in circles. It's everyone's choice.
Almost done.
We need to vote.
We'll start with Mike for a vote.
Mike Potts said yes.
James Drawn, yes.
James Gates, yes.
Pat Jamal, yes.
Kevin has to abstain.
I appreciate, Kim, you joining us. I know it's tough to get away. with
Yeah, and I'm
everything
sorry,
you
my
do. Linda,
comments taken.
No, Linda, and I thank you for joining us. I know it's tough to do it, and I know it's frustrating. And again, it is frustrating, but at no point, and Linda did say, no one was against the addition. But there's times that we have to talk about individual standard orders. And that is one of them. So, make a motion to close. I make a motion to close the hearing,
I'll
for
second
One
that.
Brown Road, TWB 2024-196, DEP number 308-0718.
So that was yes all the way around. 4.
And I'll second that.
Pat seconded.
Mike Potts said yes.
James Drawn, yes.
James Gates, yes.
Pat Jamal, yes.
Give us
Okay.
a week or so to do the paperwork.
Thank you, I appreciate your due diligence.
Thank you.
Now I have
Have a good night.
to organize these.
Hope that wasn't too much for you.
No.
It might have been too much for you, the way things are happening over
We're still
there.
in the meeting. Let's just finish this off, because it's almost 9 o'clock.
Well,
Did everyone have a chance? Kevin, you joining us again?
I am.
Review and approve meeting minutes from 11/13. Have a happy holiday.
Thank you. Merry Christmas and God bless.
See you later. Good luck with the addition in the neighborhood.
I appreciate it.
You read it? Like,
Yeah.
You get a chance to read the,
I slid the
Well,
copy
actually, I
over.
couldn't go online, so Sabrina just gave me a copy a little while ago. I haven't read it word by word, but I scanned it. See anything?
The minutes, we don't,
we don't want.
We double check them.
Try to pay
every
attention.
once in a while, I'll see something that I don't recall though. How do you jump up and say you don't want, you know?
Pat, did you get a chance to?
Yes, I did. And I didn't really notice anything. Anything jumped out at
So
me.
someone make a motion and someone second it, please.
Motion to approve the minutes from, what was it again?
Oh, 11/13.
Yeah,
Second,
Roll call
James
vote,
Drawn,
please.
yes.
Mike Potts said yes.
James Gates, yes.
Pat Jamal, yes. Okay.
Items for next meeting, 22 Sauna Road. Sauna Road.
Cheers shouldn't get rubber like that. I'm gonna sue the company. She's still there, yeah.
Maybe we'll have an agent, maybe not. So I'll make, our next meeting is Wednesday, January 8th, and then January 22nd, 2025, 7 PM. Board of Select Chambers also on Zoom. It is 8:45 PM. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion, go ahead, Pat.
Okay,
That's your turn.
I make a motion
Oh.
that we adjourn the meeting at
8:45.
8:45.
Second, Kevin?
Second, please.
Roll call
Mike Potts
vote.
said yes.
James Drawn, yes.
James Gates, yes.
Yes.
Pat Jamal, yes.